I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. This is my show. This is my camera. I run it. Oh!
What's good, everybody? We are back for the final segment. I am going to be listing my MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Six-Man, Most Improved, Clutch Player, and Coach of the Year. All right, we're going to start at the bottom. See if I can zoom in. Oh, that's too much. All right. Now, Coach of the Year. Now, the conversation has always been, who is the best coach in the NBA? Pop is in the front office now. Steve Kerr really isn't the man everybody thinks he is. He just inherited a job from Mark Jackson, in my opinion. Now, has he had some good coaching moments? He's decent, but he's always had stacked players, even on Team USA. You don't really see his coaching prowess, but a guy won championships with a great team. Took an underrated team to the NBA Finals. Had a number of situations where they could have just fallen off for the year. Still got that team to the playoffs. In another situation where they start 10-31, you say, I thought this guy was, the second coming of Pat Riley, but he doesn't seem to be that guy. And then all of a sudden, you look up at the end of the season, they go on a 31-10 run and nearly make the playoffs. I'm talking about none other than Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra is my Coach of the Year for the upcoming season. Now, Clutch Player. Clutch Player is going to be based on one thing. All right, this team is going to play a lot of close games. Now, I don't think they're a great offensive team. I don't think they're a great defensive team. But they do have two great players that when they play great, no other team has two of them. No other team in the history of the playoffs can do what these two guys have done. These two, I'm talking about just two people. Put two people in. LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Two of the most dominant playoff performers in NBA history. Luka is one of the most clutch players in the NBA. Wasn't healthy before, but he does look healthy now. I got Luka as my Clutch Player of the Year. If I can find where he's at, right here. There we go. Luka Doncic is going to be my Clutch Player of the Year. My Most Improved. Most Improved is going to be someone, you got to look at the teams that have injuries. I haven't talked about the team in green, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to talk about the team in green only because no JT, you're not going to win a championship. You give up Holiday, you give up Porzingis. You're trying to, see, all right, if we're bad enough, we can get this. If we're in a certain position, stock draft picks. When he comes back, we can make another run. Anthony Simons, not really efficient. You picked him up, cool, but not really a threat, right? He's not threatening to me on Boston. The numbers are going to drop because he's going to have to be more efficient to play in the offense ran by the Celtics. So when I look at Most Improved, team that has another injury at a very crucial spot, heartbreaking fashion, NBA Finals, Tyrese Halliburton comes out of the gate, quick nine. We already knew this game 7 is going to be different. SGA, you're going to have to be that guy to beat that guy on this night. Hallie goes down with an injury, tore his Achilles. He's out for the season. The guy that's going to be picking up the slack for him is Nembhard. Nembhard is going to be my Most Improved. I think he can have the potential to put up somewhere like 15 and 7 points per game. It's not going to be pretty for the Pacers most nights. It's not going to be pretty because, again, you don't have that guy. And also, Miles Turner was shipped off to Milwaukee. No. He left. He went to Milwaukee. So, look. I'm not big on guarantees, but I can guarantee you that Nembhard is going to be around 15 and 7 next season. Like, it's death taxes and that, right? Because everything that they're missing right now, you just can't afford for him not to be at that level for them to even compete. And Pascal, he got to be at 25 points a night. Mathurin, he's got to be at 20 points per game. So Nembhard feeding both of those guys, All right. Nembhard, getting those guys to rock in the position that they. All right, we're going to chill out on that. I'm just playing. We're going to chill out on that. But real talk, Nembhard being a facilitator for that team is going to be very important. Sixth man of the year. Talked about him a minute ago in the terms of he got healthy late in the season last year, started to look like his old self, playing well, getting healthy, found his rhythm. He can be a defensive stopper. He can be a guy that can space the floor. His percentage improved going from the Lakers to the Pelicans and then again in Chicago. If the Bulls had him, if the Bulls had him healthy, DeRozan, Levine, and Lonzo Ball, they would have been just fine every single season. And I think they ultimately would have been a top 5 seed in the East if he was healthy during those years. I got Lonzo Ball, comeback player of the year as well. You put that down maybe. But sixth man of the year, I got Lonzo Ball for the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially if they're number 1 or number 2 in the Eastern Conference. Defensive player of the year. This is the most frustrating conversation you have to have with people, or I have to have with people, because you say defensive player of the year, but you're only blocking shots at the rim, or you don't have blocks or steals, but your team defensive numbers are great, right? We have that situation with Rudy Gobert, and then we have the other situation with Evan Mobley, right? When I think about defensive player of the year, I'm thinking about, all right, I need you to guard your man. And then in tight situations, close game, late game, I need you to guard the best player on the other team. Okay, and then I also need you to help our team defense be at a high level. Whatever situation you want to put them in, pick and roll, isolation, help defense, transition defense, post defense, perimeter defense, blocking shots, things like that. There's no player in the NBA who guards 1 through 5 literally and is efficient and good at it outside of Bam Adebayo. Bam is the best 1 through 5 defender in the league. Bam guards more pick and rolls than anybody in the league. He is involved in more switches than anybody in the league. And guess what? They shoot a low percentage when he switch on to them. It's not just get a big, in a pick and roll and then watch me cook. No. Get Bam Adebayo out of the situation, away from me. So I got Bam winning the defensive player of the year, getting his respect this year. Most valuable player. I don't want to choose from the typical pool of players, right? I could go Luka, but he's my clutch player. That's why he's my clutch player, because I didn't want to pick him for MVP. SGA, no. Typical suspect, right? Always involved in that conversation the past 3 seasons. Joker, nah. That's too easy. Giannis, also too easy. I want to go for a newcomer. Somebody who, if he has the season that we think he's capable of having, he could be the most valuable player and arguably top 5 player in the NBA. One of the scariest skill sets, one of the scariest builds in the entire league. 24-12, think blocked 3 or 4 shots. I think Victor Wembanyama has the potential to be this year's most valuable player. And if the San Antonio Spurs find themselves in the playoff picture, got De'Aaron Fox, Barnes, Vassell, Castle, Johnson, you still have a team around them, right? Still have a decent team around them. If they're in the playoff picture, Wemby's name is going to come up in MVPs depending on, how high they are in those conversations. But like I said, coach of the year, Eric Spoelstra, clutch player, Luka, most improved, Nembhard, 6th man, Lonzo Ball, DPOY, I got Bam Adebayo, aka Miss Asia Wilson's man, and MVP, Victor Wembanyama. Give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. I am almost to 1K, and I'm going to hit that number before the end of the year. Hopefully, I hit it before the end of the week. All right, that's one more for the good guys.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance.